this video, we're going to demonstrate how our TK-1100 tint paste is used to take any one of our select clear sealers or epoxies, turn them from a clear into a color. The TK-1100 is conveniently packaged in a 1 pint container. 1 pint will go to 1 gallon of your sealer. So it's a very simple add. If you're doing a 5-gallon pail, you'll need 5 of these to create 1 solid color. So it's always good to have a little paint can opener when you're using these guys. We put these lids on tight for a reason so they don't spill all over the place. So you can see here, this is our Westwood Brown, and we are going to add it into the sealer. So the process for doing this is you're going to want to put your sealer in your container, or you can do it in the bucket if you're doing a full 5, but don't ever try to guess how much sealer you have if it's an open can. So in this case, we're going to add 1 gallon of sealer into this bucket, but I am going to hold back a little bit, and I'll show you in a minute why I'm doing that. Okay, so we're just shy of 1 gallon. In this case, we're using our TK Bright Cure and Seal. So let's just say you have an existing surface. Maybe the color's a little splotchy or a little off, and you want to just make it a nice uniform appearance. This is the perfect material. You don't really want to use this to completely change a color. You don't want to paint it on. This is really intended to just sort of tone down or slightly change a color variation that you might already have. So I'm going to take the 1 pint. I'm going to pour it in, and it's really important if you're doing multiple single batches to make sure that you get as much of the tint out as you can. You can use a paint stir stick like I have here, or even a brush. And now for the last little bit that's in here, I'm going to take my can and just put a little in there to try to get the rest of this out. So we've got a sufficient amount of the material out. Now I'm just going to take a variable speed drill, and I have a mixing paddle on it, and I'm just going to mix this up for about a minute at a fairly low speed just to get it nice and consistent. Okay, so we've got our mixing done, nice and uniform. I put a little bit of material on the sample here just so I can confirm that I've got the right tone that I'm looking for. So this will darken a bit as it dries. So the next step is I'm going to take the material, put it in a roller tray, and I'm just going to roll it on this small sample. On larger jobs, you can spray and back roll. But again, with any good coating application, thin to win, so we don't want to put a lot of material on at once. And because this is a clear sealer and not a paint, it's not unusual to see a little bit of transparency, especially on your first coat. What we're looking here is about 250 to 300 square feet per gallon on your first coat. As you can see, we've got it pretty good. We'll wait to see how this dries, and if necessary, we'll put a second coat over the top. Maintenance on this stuff is super easy. If you start to see any wearing, you can simply just reapply the product on top. It'll bond to itself, and you'll have a nice system to keep it looking good for years to come.